Hello, what's up? Welcome to a new quick edit video. This time I want to work on this shot, which I captured using a really long focal length at 300mm, just to nicely frame all those layers of the landscape. Right now the image lacks quite a bit of contrast and could use some other changes as well. So before I start editing, let's first take a look at the before and after images. And as always, I want to start the editing in the lens correction tab by activating those two settings. And you can see the profile correction will have a nice effect on the photo already, as it just will reduce the lens distortion a little bit. Then let's go back to the top, and here I want to change the profile to Adobe Landscape, which will give my image some nice base saturation. And I really like how the colors come out using this profile. Then I also want to work on the white balance. I think I could turn down the temperature a little bit, giving the whole image a nice cold color tone. And maybe let's also drop the tint. Okay, now of course the image is really dark, and we can also see that by looking at the histogram. I want to counter that a little bit by increasing the whites. But of course I want to keep the dark areas dark in this case to have some kind of silhouetting effect right there in the trees in the foreground. So let's just drop the blacks. And I could even increase the contrast quite a little bit in this case actually. And this setting will then just help bring out all those layers even more. In this case I also really don't care if some areas are underexposed. Anyway, the image starts to get way too saturated, so let's just drop the saturation. And then I would also like to drop the texture, which will just give everything a much smoother look. And I think it works pretty well in this case with the foggy landscape. Now to get some overall detail, I can increase the clarity a little bit. And this will not only introduce some detail, but also make the fog between those layers a little bit brighter, which will just improve the overall mood of the image. Alright then let's head to the local adjustments. I have applied two gradiated filters on this image. And I want to start with the foreground, which I want to brighten up a little bit more by just increasing the whites again. And I can actually turn them up all the way. Then let's head to the top gradiated filter. Here I want to slightly warm up the sky by increasing the temperature. And maybe adding a little bit of tint. Also I could apply some noise reduction right there. Okay, and that's really it for the local adjustments already. Then let's do some color grading. Right now the blue color tone is really heavy here, and I want to change that in the HSL tab. Here I'm simply dropping the blue saturation to somewhere around here, I guess. I still want to have some blue tones in there, of course. And then let's also apply some split toning. In this case I'm just applying the split toning for the highlights, and here I want to go with a nice warm color tone. Maybe let's drop the strength and let's drop the balance a little bit, so really only the highlights are affected. Alright. I think for this image I could skip the sharpening, but I still want to apply a little bit of it anyway. Of course I'm making sure to make use of the masking. And I only really want the top of those layers to be sharpened. And this right here is pretty much it, the editing for this image. So I hope this was interesting and helpful. Of course, if you have any questions regarding the editing, then please feel free to ask in the comments, and thank you very much for watching this video.